My dear friends, welcome to Chess24. My name is Rustam Kasimjanov and we are continuing our series about Jose Raul Capablanca, third world champion, and today we have a special guest, Grandmaster from Spain, Francisco Vallejo Pons, or as the whole chess world knows him, Paco. Welcome, Paco.
Thank you.
So how are you today?
Well, not bad.
Are you ready to show us some tricks and to give us some wisdom?
Well, I expected you to do that.
Well, I'll try, yeah.
Okay.
And maybe you can help a little bit, yeah? Once we're here anyway.
Yeah.
This is the game Capablanca, Milner, Berry, and I chose this game because I thought it is quite instructive in a way. Capablanca used his two-bishop advantage. Well, at the moment he has, no two-bishop advantage yet, but in fact he played knight e4 in this position, creating a threat of knight f6. And basically he is planning to get the two bishops, and we'll see how this advantage will come to show in this game. And to understand two bishops, it is important to realize that although the position is not very open now, it can get open very quickly, and we will see how Capablanca goes about this. So in this position, I personally with black I would be worried about knight f6, but in fact king g7 doesn't seem to work well, because after d4 white begins to open the diagonal against the black king.
Looks dangerous, yes.
Looks pretty dangerous, yes. And the normal move would be bishop g7, but as a matter of fact Milner Berry played bishop f8 pretty recently in this game, and
so he felt not so good about it.
Well, he didn't feel good about this, yeah. And I have a feeling that in general Milner Berry was a bit worried about the pawn on d6, yeah. After, for instance, b5, the pawn will be hanging and he would have to go c5, but in fact this is maybe not as bad as what he got in the game.
Yeah, it looks not so bad, quite solid at least.
It is, at least it's closed, yeah,
closed,
for a while. But in fact he played f5. Basically asking for knight f6.
Yeah, he gave the bishops. Yeah.
He gave the bishops, and furthermore, his king became pretty vulnerable now. Because, this advance f5 is good when you can attack, but now clearly this is not the case.
It's not going to help him very much.
It's not going to help him, yeah. I mean, for now it looks like he's controlling many squares. Like in the center, all his pawns are controlling squares, but this will change when the position will open. Yeah, now it's interesting to see how slowly and quietly Capablanca tries to open the position. First of all, he played bishop c3. He's thinking about the pawn on e5 and trying to maybe get something going with c5 or d4, or maybe even f4 sometimes. Black plays bishop g7, and queen b2 becomes understandable for the same reason. Now he's preparing some sort of pressure on the pawn on e5. His other point could be that sometimes maybe b5 could create the pressure along the b file and on the pawns.
Well, he's basically not threatening much, but trying to scare the other guy probably.
Well, but also improving his pieces a little bit, yeah, just bit by bit, and also.
Well, d6 is not a weakness anymore, so he brings the queen back, like to b2.
Yeah, and also maybe importantly, maybe black actually wanted to go d5.
Yeah.
To be able maybe to go d4 and maybe to close at least some diagonals potentially.
Yeah, or even d5, e4. To
maybe
change
d5,
the bishops
e4, yeah.
also.
So in fact, maybe queen b2 is a very good prophylactic move. He's continuing to feel that e5 is an important square in the position, and kind of paralyzes black a little bit.
And g5 trying to open lines or something for black? Well,
I mean, maybe he should try something desperate like this.
Now the king is on f7 already, the rook h8. I would like to play like that with black. No, maybe it's a dream, yeah, but.
Well, maybe you should, yeah. I don't. It sounds actually like a good try, yeah.
Well, at least if you're going to die, at least try something first. Yeah,
yeah, and I think maybe Milner Berry did not feel like he was dying yet.
Oh, okay.
And he made a move which is looking unnatural to my eye. I mean, I would. It's nice that you played g5 because I wanted to go king g8 the first time I saw this position.
We don't have the same
approach. I wanted to hide the king, and then maybe Capablanca would play something like rook d1, maybe slowly preparing some d4. But okay, the position is still not very clear. And I think Milner-Berry played a little bit too academically. He thought Capablanca is putting pressure on the pawn on e5, and he decided to give it another.
Yeah, but it's strange to put the queen.
It's almost always wrong, yeah.
It's strange.
Yeah, I mean the queen is vulnerable to all sorts of tricks.
Yeah.
One of these tricks could be b5, another one could be d4, d5.
You never know when, but sometimes it happens that the queen in front of the rook. It's not a
good thing, yeah. Not a good thing. And now, in fact, immediately Capablanca started to open the position with d4. And usually after d4,
you could come e4, but now
d5 is losing a piece exactly because black placed the queen on c7. Otherwise, he would just take, and take. But now bishop g7 actually would win the piece because the queen is hanging. And because of this, white played d4 for free. And he's continuing to threaten things like d5 and c5 and other things. Black made another very defensive move. Played knight f8. And in fact now white just took on e5 because, okay, white has to open some diagonals. And the thing is, if black tries to keep it closed with d takes e5, then after e4, say knight e6, c5, it's clear that the position will open very quickly.
Yeah.
And this bishop will come to life either via h3 or will come to life on this diagonal. White is also threatening some h5.
Queen b3, maybe.
Yeah, rook is coming to d1, queen b3, and in general, as the bishops start opening up, the position immediately turns from reasonably unclear to very, very bad for black. This is the illustration of the power of the bishops. When the diagonals are open, then the bishops become devastating. Black tried bishop takes e5. Well, the attempt is to exchange the bishop. Yeah, very understandable. And Capablanca had to foresee that he can stop this with knight d4.
Black is playing without plan somehow. He's just moving pieces.
That is true, yeah.
The last few moves, it looks to me like he's not really trying something. No? That's why I liked g5, for example. I mean, well, maybe it's a bad move or something, but at least you have an idea behind the move.
Capablanca always said himself, it's better to have a bad plan than no plan at all. Yeah, and it seems that Milner-Berry in this game didn't have a plan.
He's just making moves, okay, trying not to blunder anything.
That's a very good point, yeah.
But, well.
Yeah, and again, after knight d4, white is threatening some c5, and then again to hit the bishop somehow, with some tactical means. And again, Milner-Berry tries to defend on e5, but basically, as you said, the whole game he's trying to protect against one-move threats, But at the end of the day, knight d7, now white hit him once again with
his rooks as well. I mean, the rooks on b8, c8.
And also the queen on c7, basically
it's completely misplaced now.
Playing without a plan kind of has its consequences. And okay, now it's the diagonals are opening and white is coming to the king on f7. And now I think black's position is basically lost. I mean, I think he should have still maybe tried something like f4. But in fact here, I mean, some blows and white just gets to the king after the queen e6, and basically black is not going to survive this. And I chose this game despite the fact that it's a pretty simple game because of what followed. Just the position after bishop takes d4, bishop d4, knight e5. I mean, to a grandmaster eye, it's clear that black is very, very bad in this position. But in fact, the material balance is still there. Black has two knights for two bishops, and nothing much apparently wrong with his position. But in fact, in this kind of positions, two bishops are just so much stronger than the knights that black
Also
doesn't have
some
a chance.
space, maybe, no? Also some space.
Also some space, and also the bad king. Yeah, I mean, if the king is completely safe, then black would have
it's
chances.
not only the bishops, but some small other details.
No,
Also,
that's true. Yeah, and it's interesting that now Capablanca did not even need to do anything special to win this. Yeah,
without any tactics.
Without- just some normal moves. Yeah, he attacked once. Black tried some f takes e4, bishop e4, knight f5. Now, okay, the trick bishop takes f5, knight f3 normally does not work against world champions, with some exceptions. But it should normally work. But Capablanca just played bishop a1.
But there is always a way to lose a game in chess. I mean, this is good that people knows. No? Like, I mean, you can dominate the game completely.
Any position can be lost. Yeah, that's true.
And,
Yeah.
well, everybody probably knows by now.
From bitter experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we learn on our own examples, more than on some others. Yeah,
It's nice watching when people blunders, but when we do ourselves,
kind of hurts. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and then now after bishop a1, I would like to attract your attention to the fact that black has reasonably well positioned knights protected by pawns. And in this case, the black's tragedy is that white is so active that he can undermine black's knights with pawns. And knights become very vulnerable if they are not protected by pawns, especially against bishops. And in this case, black finally tried to do something about his rooks, bringing them somehow to defense of the king. Black played rook g8, h5, rook f8, and now clearly white can try to win with many ways, but what Capablanca did is very instructive. After undermining the position of one knight, he played c5, doing the same to the other black knight. And now basically both of the knights, despite being in the center and controlling a lot of squares, they need protection. And against bishops this simply does not work. And
maybe with the king on b8, it will still be a playable position, no? Somehow trying to fight at least with, with black.
The king would be safe, yeah.
With the king on b8, it will be a different story. But with the king in the middle of the action,
that's true, yeah.
It's gonna be difficult.
And that's exactly how the game ended. Yeah, Milner Berry tried d5, but now just Capablanca played bishop takes d5, and the direct attack decided the battle. So c takes d5, and after f4, black soon had to resign because the pin is winning back the material, and the white's attack continues, and basically black resigned. And I chose this game despite it being completely straightforward, because it indicates the kind of dangers there could be in positions like this with two bishops and the bad king, and also because Capablanca, in my opinion, very quietly, very knowingly utilized the advantage of his two bishops. What do you think?
Yeah, well, it's true that he played very slowly. Somehow, with my own style, normally I hurry up to collect something. You know? Like when he had this position, I'll probably try to find some tactics. But Capablanca did it in a very easy way somehow.
Yeah, it's like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. It was, normally I try to calculate, but then you actually realize that some people doesn't calculate so much, but they don't need to. They just improve their pieces, and they calculate only when there is a real reason to do it. Yeah?
Only once in this game, bishop takes d5.
Yeah. But it's a two-move calculation even.
Yes, but on the whole, a pretty impressive performance by Capablanca, and interestingly, I think his win actually started somewhere around here, and he felt...
After queen c7, really the pawns became unpleasant, I think. Yeah, after queen c7, d4. Yeah,
because black lost harmony. Yeah, he should
still
have never.
Here, maybe it's still not so bad. Yeah?
Well, I think g5 would have been a much more unpleasant
at least
way.
At least this is modern chess somehow. No? People doesn't want to defend this passive positions.
That's
people,
true, yeah.
when you feel that you're getting a bad position, you just go crazy. You play g5, and well, who knows it? I mean, you're objectively worse, but well, I mean, during the game, this was not in the defense, but also in the attack. What Tal was doing all the time. Like he was just, well, after the analysis, you could say, well, he was wrong maybe, but during the game it's very hard to find sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Now you see, not only did we show you something about two bishops, but also Paco produced some very useful insights about counterplay and modern chess. Yeah, I think if you stay with us in our next videos, we will show you some more chess knowledge on the examples of the great world champion from Cuba, Jose Raúl Capablanca. Stay with us. Bye.
Thanks.